Fantasy football with the Dork and Dude. I'm the Dork. Welcome to our post-Super Bowl edition.
Yep, here we are.
Dude, what'd you think of the Super Bowl?
I thought it was a great game. Of course, I didn't like the outcome, but the officials didn't play any kind of crucial role, which no matter who wins, even if my Niners win, if they get help, you know.
That's always disappointing when that happens.
Yeah,
I thought
so
they were pretty good.
Yeah, and if we talked about it. The play of the game was the muff punt.
Yeah.
And without that, Niners had a hell of a chance of winning. They had a hell of a chance of winning anyway. They missed an extra point, which would have changed the strategy of KC.
Changed the dynamic.
Yeah.
I also was happy to see the overtime rules work out pretty well.
Yeah, they did.
I think it's pretty fair for both teams. You don't have to go to a gimmick like, say, a shootout they do in soccer or what they do in college football.
Right.
Both getting the ball or defer or getting the ball first or second do have specific advantages, and it worked out. So I'm happy about that.
Sure. And I lost because I took the Niners side, but I did hit a prop bet over 3.5 field goals, which made it a little less painful. And then I hit a board at a local establishment for 400. So I had a winning day.
On 2 and 5, how about that? You
2
have
and
to look
5.
at those numbers.
That
thinking,
missed
shit.
extra point helped me.
Yes. And like we said, the missed extra point, you're still gonna have Mahomes going for the touchdown then. And
True. But they can't tie it up and take it into overtime.
They can't tie it up and take it into overtime.
Which is huge. They've got to go for the win.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's neither here nor there at this point.
Both teams showed up and played well.
They did.
Both teams, as they should be.
Greenlaw going out with the Achilles.
That was tough to watch.
Yeah, that hurt Niners D.
Yeah.
And but I thought Purdy played really well. He's only going to get better.
Yeah. And
so the Niners found him a guy that works within their system and can make it happen.
Yep.
And so, I'm disappointed the 49ers lost, but it was a good Super Bowl. Now we're on to the off season.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I had a winning football season.
You did. I did not. I was thinking about that. I like to think, what did stuff mess me up? And
did you overanalyze?
No, I think I let the noise get to me sometimes. Listening to a lot of other stuff.
Yeah,
I should have just rolled with what I thought.
You go with your gut.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and, sometimes like in this game, I just went with my gut with the Niners and stuff. But if I would have been totally analytical and looked at the big picture, I would have bet the Chiefs.
Yeah.
But I couldn't bring myself to bet the Chiefs. I thought the Niners were the better team.
I thought it was fairly even, and I probably, in my analysis, I probably did some, what do you call it when you there was some confirmation bias in what I looked for.
Sure.
But I even think I went over that. This favors the Chiefs. This favored the Niners.
Right.
I thought Kittle would be a bigger deal.
I did too.
I had some money on him, some alternate lines.
Yeah, I didn't really bet him in props very much, but I thought that he'd have at least like 4 receptions, maybe 60 yards and a touchdown or something.
Yeah.
They took him out.
Yeah, Kansas City took him out. That's a good defense. I did have Mahomes over on rushing, and
he crushed that.
I hit Kelsey's over.
Uh-huh.
Other than that, my over-unders all missed because I mainly went over.
I stay away from the over and unders, and it's paid off. Now I know the pros bet it all the time, and depending on the number, it can be a good bet, but I just don't like the flukiness of it.
Yeah, well, and it's if Mahomes if Casey has the lead all game, Mahomes ain't running at all.
Yep.
So he doesn't touch it. So you kind of gotta hope the game goes your way.
Yep. The game script.
Mm-hmm.
I hear you. So what do you, just off the top of your head, the rest of the talking heads are talking about, what do you see the Niners and KC needing to do to get better or stay the same going into the offseason and the draft?
I think the Niners got to bolster the offensive line.
Yep.
I got some geeky stuff here on.
Oh God, here we go again. Dork alert.
Um, I mean, Kansas City has some cap room,
Yeah.
but they also have Jones and Snead as free agents.
And they're going to keep those dudes.
You'd think they're going to do everything to keep those two.
They'd be stupid not to.
The Niners, where do I got them? They don't have a lot of cap room
Thanks to Brock Purdy.
or draft capital, but
They'd be in the hole.
you know, they got a good solid team that's not particularly old, and
They spent a lot. Actually, I got a dork alert for you, Dorkster.
Oh God, here we go again. Dork alert.
49ers are the third oldest team in the NFL.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
I did not see that. Let's see.
Yep, third oldest. That's what I heard.
Okay. I got.
And so there's going to be guys that are on the bubble, and they'd rather bring in a guy in the draft. They're getting their first round pick for the first time in like goddamn 3 years.
Okay.
Me looking at it as a Niners fan, I think you're right. Offensive line, they've got to try to get some college stud cornerback.
Yeah.
Their safety blew out his knee. He's coming back. Yeah.
I forget his name.
Yeah, he's
but
like,
it's Samoan guy,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. He was a big part of that defense when he went
was
down.
Huge, yeah.
You could see that they could stop less and less.
Mm-hmm.
So he'll be back. Debo's locked up. I think they've got to make a decision on Ayuk. They could always franchise him.
Yeah.
But not having to pay some quarterback $40 million a year helps.
They got 2 more years of Purdy
Mm-hmm.
at the bargain rate.
Yeah, they do.
So
As far as what at KC, what do they need
they
besides re-signing their guys?
they got to resign their guys and find another, try to get another rookie receiver. I would guess, because that has been an issue with them.
They hit the jackpot with Rice.
Rice was a good one for receivers.
Yeah,
so.
it is.
The Bears.
I good. That would be better pickup for KC. And then you got Kelsey. They're gonna have to draft a young tight end and start putting him in there. Noah Gray, I don't think he's the long-term answer.
No.
And so
He did none of their young tight ends did much.
right. They're
With
pretty.
Kelsey
They're
gone.
set at running back pretty good. You know, Pacheco was a 7th-round pick.
Yeah.
And they hit on him.
Yeah.
And so they're both teams are gonna be good, and there's a good chance that one or both of them are gonna be back.
And they're good organizations, and they know how to get the get the bargains.
That's it. Hey, do me a favor, close that door.
Yeah, I just saw that.
Yeah. Yeah, so there we are. We've wrapped up the Super Bowl. We're kind of looking at the teams and everything. Now we're going to get into our futures and talk about what we're going to do in the off season. We're going to be taking a little break. Everybody needs a break. Unfortunately, you know, the pros like Teddy Covers, he never gets a break.
Teddy doesn't get a break.
He maybe takes a week or two and does what he does to relax, which it might be going to the racetrack or something.
But if I don't know if he does any other sports, but
he does them all.
Basketball's heating up now. And,
He does them all.
Okay.
Those pros, that's what they do. They can't.
Yeah.
They're not just NFL dudes or.
Yeah.
Now some of them are specialized maybe in golf and but the NBA, college football and hoops, and
Which we can't do here in Oregon.
yeah, and the NFL and
Yeah,
stuff.
NHL.
They cover all that.
Formula One.
I don't know how
Whatever.
they stay up on all that.
They don't. That's their job.
I hear you.
They got spreadsheets and systems and models.
Yep,
Where they just run it and say this is the pick, and
that's it.
if it hits 60% of the time, they're in.
Okay, where are we going from here, Dorkster?
Okay, I wanted to talk about things early next year.
Okay.
Early look at next year. Obviously, there's a lot to be done. Players are going to be cut. Players are going to be signed. Free agents are going to be signed. There's going to be the draft.
Free agents will be on the market.
Yep. So there's just a lot to go through, and the lines are out at least for the Super Bowl and the conference.
Yeah, I looked at that today.
And we wanted to go over some of the bets we like, and some of the bets we're going to make
Initially
going into it.
I've got a couple bets down already, but I'm going to wait till after the draft and then throw down like the day or two after.
Yeah.
And try to find an anomaly, and because someone had a great draft and the odds aren't reflecting it, kind of thing.
Okay, I get that. Here, I'm just going to give you the teams that I would expect to improve on last year.
There we go.
And this is based on team age, draft capital, cap space, and what's the last one? Oh, strength of schedule coming up.
Big time.
Now, the team age and the strength of schedule, those can vary once all the signings come in.
Sure.
So, some teams are going to be capped out, and they hope to fill in the edges with enough stuff. Other teams are still ascendant. So, from my take, the teams with the most likely to improve next year,
Based on all those factors.
based on those factors,
Okay.
I'll give you the top 10 here. The Bears, the Colts.
How did the Bears end up number one?
They have cap space. They have by far the most draft capital.
No doubt.
They're a younger team. And,
I hear you. What'd they win? 7 games?
7 games.
They'll win 9, maybe 10.
I think, well, they better. There's going to be a new coach.
Well, you don't go from 7 to 12 in a year. I don't care all the cap space you got.
The Lions did. Or maybe they went from 8 or 9 to 12.
Yeah, theirs was a 2-year progression.
Yeah. Anyways, Bears, Indianapolis Colts. Washington is up there, but with the new coach, I'm still not sure. They might be still tearing it down.
Yeah, new ownership, GM.
Yeah. Arizona. I got Tennessee here. They also have a new coach. I have Atlanta, Chargers, Rams, Cincinnati of all teams, and Philadelphia.
Okay.
Now the ones that I'll just say they're up against it as far as improvement goes.
Maybe some regressions.
Maybe some regression, but if they're smart and make the right picks, they can do it. But Buffalo, Cleveland, Pittsburgh, Baltimore, the Niners, Dallas, the Jets, Houston, Denver, and New Orleans.
Okay.
Now, New Orleans has one of the oldest rosters and the least, they have the worst cap situation.
They're in cap hell.
They also have the easiest schedule again.
Yeah, but what'd that do for them last year?
Got them 9 wins.
Yeah, true. And there was a couple they could have won. They could have won 11 and 6.
It probably also could have gone 7 and 10. But,
True. Here, let me see that, man. I'll tell you the ones that I like that I've already been kind of looking at to bet. I'm intrigued by Indy.
I'm definitely throwing down on Indy at 45 to 1. That's probably my favorite bet.
I'm not going to touch Washington.
No.
They're rebuilding. Arizona at what is that, 80 to 1?
80 to 1.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe $5 to win 400. Tennessee, I want no part of them. Uh, Chargers, I've already bet. Rams, I've already bet.
Yeah, I like both the Los Angeles teams.
Yeah, I like Cincinnati, depending on where you can get them. I think they're about 20-1, right? You got
It was
13?
13 on DraftKings.
Okay. Yeah, I think they opened higher. The Sharps must be getting on them early or something.
Well, also remember, in the last 5 years in the playoffs, Tampa Bay beat Kansas City in the Super Bowl
Mm-hmm.
when Kansas City's 2 starting tackles were out.
Right.
The only other team to beat them was Cincinnati, and the team that gave them the toughest run was also Cincinnati.
Yeah, and that's what
So-
I'm thinking of. I'm going to watch that, though.
They got
I thought they opened up at like 20-1.
Their Reeder and Higgins are their big free agents, and they should be able to get them both back.
Well, I was reading today that Higgins, they're going to probably franchise him.
Franchise him, okay.
Yeah. I like Green Bay. I haven't bet them yet, but at 20-1, I like them. They're a young,
They got
ascending
a lot of
team.
draft capital.
Minnesota, they've killed me. I can't bet them again.
They're on the list.
Well, they're highlighted.
Oh, okay. No, I'm gonna bet them. I think
Minnesota?
just at 55-1. I like them with Cousins coming back.
Okay.
Assuming Cousins comes back.
Houston, they're at 22-1. They should probably be 30.
Yeah.
So people are jumping on them.
There's a lot of fun buzz around them.
Yeah, and there's recency bias. And Stroud's awesome.
Yeah. I think the Jets are way overpriced at 25
I
to
wouldn't
1.
touch the Jets for anything, man. Okay,
But
so
I also like Carolina at 250-1 because if you're giving me 250-1, I'll throw down $5 on it.
I won't.
We did it on Houston last year, and
True.
it almost
But
paid off.
Carolina's a dumpster fire.
Yeah, but they're new regime.
Their owner's a jerk.
There's a lot of jerky owners out there.
True,
that
but
have
this
won
guy
Super
takes the
Bowls.
cake, man.
Yeah, he does.
Throwing drinks on fans and shit.
Yeah. Hey, Jim Irsay won a Super Bowl with the right team, though. So.
True.
And I like Denver at 100-1 just because of Sean Payton.
Yeah, but what the quarterback situation?
They're a mess still.
Yeah.
They did improve. They started winning.
Well, the second half of the season.
But a good coach can do that. Can change the culture.
I just don't know if he's still a good coach.
It's 100-1.
I hear you.
So
Well, I've still got heartburn from betting the some bitches at 50 last year. Okay.
I get it. Yeah.
But I do have my New Orleans polo. I might have to throw down on him just so I can wear the damn thing on the pod.
Voodoo works best in New Orleans.
That's it.
So
I guess I got to go with New Orleans.
One thing I saw.
I'll throw $10 at 100-1.
Why not? One thing I saw on DraftKings. Pittsburgh is the favorite for the next team for both Russell Wilson and Justin Fields.
I've heard both of those rumors.
Okay. So there you have it.
But
they could probably get Wilson for pretty cheap.
True, and with their defense, getting everybody healthy again and some draft picks, Wilson might be the ticket.
Yeah.
Because we know Pickett isn't. Or Rudolph.
Pickett, Rudolph, Trubisky.
Trubisky got cut yesterday.
Oh, he did? Okay. Someone will bring him in, I'm sure.
I don't know. I think he's a washed-up journeyman.
He's never up enough to be washed.
Yeah, he might be a camp arm.
Yeah.
And in an emergency,
Scout team
we lost our first two quarterbacks and we're desperate middle of season.
Scout team QB.
That's it.
So who have you bet on?
I've got $20 on the Rams at 35-1.
I love it.
And 20 on the Chargers at 25-1. And I think the Rams are still 35-1, but I think the Chargers dropped to 20.
I got them at 25 today.
Nice.
Okay. Now let me throw other teams out there. How about the Lions? What's your take on them next year?
I think they're going to be better than they were.
Do you think they could go to the Super Bowl?
Yes.
Okay.
What are they setting
I agree. They are 12-1.
Yeah, 12-1. I don't know. I'd have to throw $50 on them to get any kind of serious return, and I don't know if I want to do that. And part of it is, it's the good and the bad with Dan Campbell.
Yeah.
And being a Niner fan, it's the same thing with Shanahan. He had deer in the headlights a couple of times during that fucking Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And you don't want to see that from your coach when you have to win the big damn game. And so that kind of worries me. But if anything, I'm thinking betting the NFC is the way to go.
Yeah.
Because the AFC is brutal. And
Yeah.
so a 35-1 shot like the Rams could end up in the NFC Championship game. They've gotten rid of their cap problems.
Yep.
They've drafted really well.
They drafted brilliantly.
Stafford's still there. They're probably going to bring back Donald. I mean,
yeah.
I love the Rams.
Puka Nacua, they got two stud defenders in the draft in the later rounds.
Yeah, they did.
Is it Kobe Turner and
Yeah.
Brooks?
People were talking
Is
up
it the
Kobe
edge?
for Defensive Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
No, they're a smart organization. They draft well. Like I said, they got their first round pick back for the first time in forever. And so they're going to get a quality player there. I love the Rams.
Okay, let me throw out a couple other teams here.
And your boy Kyron
Williams, he really showed up.
Yeah, and he's going to be back.
Oh yeah. So we got the Eagles are 20-1.
Hate
They have
it.
two new coordinators, Kellen Moore and Vic Fangio.
Yeah,
Do you think that makes a difference?
Fangio does.
I think so.
Kellen Moore's just going to depend on how Hurts regressed, and Moore's got to turn that around. That's why they brought him in. But
Yeah.
he is the quarterback whisperer. So
Okay.
I think both of those are positive moves.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't like the Phillies as they're the Eagles as they're constructed right now.
So the thing about Kellen Moore, he left Dallas, and Dak had maybe his best year this year.
Yeah,
And he goes to the Chargers, and I know they had other issues, but
they had lots
Herbert
of
was
issues.
just not as great as he's been.
It was injuries.
Okay.
You lose Mike Wilson,
Mike
Williams, game 1
Mm-hmm.
or 2. Herbert breaks a fucking finger.
Okay.
Keenan Allen was banged up for a couple of games. They've got no third wide receiver.
Mm-hmm.
Their tight ends are aging.
Mm-hmm.
They've got a lot of problems. But I'm thinking Harbaugh's going to come in there, and they brought him in there to clean house.
Yeah.
And he doesn't give a shit if you're Keenan Allen or who the hell you are.
Right. And
If you're not in his fucking plan, you're gone.
Yeah.
And so they're going to do some house cleaning and hopefully get younger, if anything. But I don't know what it is, man. The injury bug hits them like every year.
Every year, there got to be something. There should.
It's bad luck.
There has it. If it happens every year, it's not bad luck.
Yeah, but what could it be? I mean, and they're
Is it the way they train?
they're
Is it-
weird injuries.
Okay. I don't know. But someone should be I'm sure they are, but okay, next let me do a few more here.
Yeah.
Let's just go down the list. How about Dallas? What's your take on them for next year?
I'm not betting them.
No.
What are they,
20-1?
20-1?
Yeah.
They're 20-1 every year,
Mm-hmm.
and they underperform.
They
I
guess,
expect them to be worse than they were.
I guess I would expect them to have some
They lost
big
Dan
wins.
Quinn.
Who'd they lose?
Dan Quinn, their defensive coordinator.
Okay.
He went to Washington as the head coach.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to hurt.
Yeah. Although I'm telling you, that defense, they could be amazing at times, and other times just ordinary.
Yeah. Well,
Especially against the good teams.
yeah. They beat up on and bullied the bums.
The Giants and the Commanders.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think they're overrated.
And the Packers just ran all over them. So.
I'd rather bet the Packers than the Cowboys.
Mm-hmm. Oh, me too. What do you think about the Packers?
I like them.
You think Jordan Love is going to keep it going?
He's the real deal.
I think so too.
He proved it.
Yeah.
And the thing that I like about him, young guy, granted, it's his third year. It was his third year.
Third or fourth.
Yeah. and he sat on the bench and everything like that. The dude showed poise, and that's
Yeah.
what you need to be a big-time QB. Poise. Purdy's got it, and Love's got it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Any love for Jacksonville?
No, hate
No.
them.
30-1.
They're soft.
They yeah, they seem like a team that's going to plateau, that has plateaued, as they say.
Right.
They got Josh Allen out there. They got to re-sign him.
They're going to.
The other Josh Allen. I'm sure they will. But they're only so good.
Yeah, and I don't know what it is. They're one of those teams that you look at them and go, hey, they got a shitload of talent, but there's a missing element that's preventing them from getting over the hump.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't put a penny on those dudes.
And I think it kind of looks like Indianapolis and Houston might take over that division for the next couple of years.
Oh, I think they're going to. Unless Jacksonville can make some changes. And if Jacksonville, let's say they miss the playoffs this year, Doug Pedersen's gone.
Yeah.
And then they rebuilding again.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're in trouble. I like Indy and Houston to win that division over them.
Yeah. Indy, they're after looking at this today, they are one of my favorite teams, sleepers going in.
Well, and I want to see a whole year of Richardson.
Yeah. And he looked good last year.
He did.
He looked surprising.
That was unfortunate that he got hurt when he did.
Mm-hmm. But it's pretty clear. And again, you look at performances with coaches.
Mm-hmm.
Steichen comes in, and this guy looks real good.
Yep.
He leaves Philly.
They look bad.
Regresses, yeah. So
Coaching's huge.
coaching is a big deal, yeah. Okay, we've already talked some about Cincinnati. Any love for Baltimore or Buffalo?
Baltimore, I bet them over the years. They let me down every time.
Mm-hmm.
Buffalo, they're schizophrenic. I don't know where if they're going to go up or down.
Yeah.
I just want to stay away from them because both teams are too volatile. And Baltimore always gets hit by the injury bug.
They do a lot. They didn't this year.
Running backs, that Mitchell went out for the season.
Oh, yeah, Dobbins and then Mitchell.
Dobbins,
yeah,
Mitchell.
That's right,
they were scrambling and getting dudes off the couch at the end of the season.
Andrews went down too.
Yep.
But they've been decimated in years past with injuries.
Right. So
how I feel about them is their next team. They're the next teams up in the AFC if KC struggles again.
Oh, they're tough. I mean, they're going to get in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not going to bet them on the Super Bowl.
Okay. How about the Seahawks?
What were they, 70-1?
65-1.
I'll throw a few bucks on them. I'll throw $10 on them. I'm playing with house money, dude. I mean,
Yeah.
Dork.
Well, they're my second team, and I will throw money on them. Do you think they got a chance? Do you think moving on from Carroll will help?
I thought it was the right thing to do.
I do too.
So we'll see. They're a young team, one of the younger teams. You got your youth there figures. Where are they?
Let's see. And these are a little old. These are from during the year.
That's all right.
That's all I could find.
They don't age
They're
that
still
much.
Pretty accurate.
In a few months.
They're about right they're in the top half actually. Oh, they're 50th youngest.
Oh, there you go.
So they're a young team.
Yep.
Draft capital isn't great because they traded away their second pick for that Williams, who now they got to sign.
Right.
And but they have an easy schedule. I think they'll be fine.
I'll throw $10 on them to win 650.
Thing is, they got the Rams, they got an improving Arizona, and the
Niners.
Niners.
The division's brutal.
It is a tough division.
Yep.
It's like.
And my problem too is I've already bet the Rams.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to get on Seattle in the same division because one of them ain't getting out of there.
Right. It's kind of like, I project the Bears to improve, and as a fan, I hope they do.
They will.
But they got the Packers, Lions, and a good Vikings team with
Yeah,
Cousins probably coming
That's a tough
back.
ass division.
That's going to be tough. So they better bring it.
Yep.
All right. Let me just real quick. Yeah, I know. Not much else here. We got any of these clown teams that are 100 and over.
Yeah.
Washington, the Giants, New England, Vegas, Denver, Tennessee, or Carolina.
I want no part of them.
I'd have to see what the money is, but what I did on Houston last year that won is I bet them to win their division.
Yep.
I might do the same for Carolina, just because sometimes a new coach, new attitude,
I saw nothing I
easy
liked about
division.
them.
Um,
I saw nothing I liked
the
about
thing
them.
is, they don't have the draft capital Houston had last year.
Right.
So,
Well, and okay, they draft that Mingo real high.
yeah,
Some bitch didn't show anything.
no, he didn't.
And in
Second
fact,
rounder.
and you know what? I heard Steve Smith, former Carolina Panther.
Steve Smith Sr.
Yeah, he's talking like
Love him.
he's-
Love him as a commentator.
Oh yeah, he's cool, but he basically was talking to the GM, and he's in with the Carolina
Correct. Yeah,
Panthers,
he's,
and he told them to take Mingo when they asked him what's where we're picking, what's the best wide receiver, and he said Mingo.
yeah, you don't do that. Yeah.
And Mingo sounds like I don't know, the things you heard was, first of all, they overvalued him, and secondly, possible head case.
You know what? I remember, and no one's right on everything. But
Sure.
I looked at I heard guys talking up Mingo.
Yep.
His numbers just weren't that impressive.
And he probably should have been a third rounder.
Or fourth or fifth, whatever. But
And so they don't draft worth their shit. They
now
they trade up for the number one and get the worst of the two.
There is a new regime in there.
It'll take them 3 years.
But just the fact that they're like, should we look at our wide receiver board? We want a wide receiver and see who's next. No, let's ask Steve Smith Sr. what he thinks.
Yeah.
There's a reason he's a talking head now.
Yeah.
And not working in a front office.
And that's for damn sure. Yeah, so new regime probably won't be listening to Steve this year.
I would hope not.
Yeah.
But
they're one of the more dysfunctional organizations. And I'm not putting my hard-earned money on dysfunction.
What I'm looking at, though, is they're in the weakest division in football, like I saw with Houston last year.
Right.
And I'm going to get good odds on them winning the division. So I might throw down when those numbers come out. We'll see.
I'm staying away from the bottom feeders.
Okay, but remember, Houston, Indy, those were two bottom feeders going into last year.
But I was on Houston. I mean, occasionally you can see a bottom feeder with potential. I don't see him in any of those clowns you just mentioned.
Okay. Not Denver with Payton, not
No.
Vegas?
Nope.
Okay.
Vegas is a dumpster fire, and they're hiring a bunch of retreads.
Okay, how about the Giants? They're getting their quarterback back.
I don't know that that's a positive.
Okay.
No, I want no part of them.
No part of any of them.
Nope.
Okay.
Sometimes you just have to cut bait.
You have to draw the line and
Yeah.
say fuck these teams.
Yeah.
I don't want.
Yeah, I don't care what their odds are.
Okay.
And it's easy, like, especially when you're ahead on your DK account like I am. It's easy to go, well, shit, the Raiders are 100 to 1. $5, I win 500. No, you might as well take that $5 and just put a cigarette lighter to it.
Okay.
It's dead money.
But would you have said the same about Houston last year?
They were the exception.
Okay.
I bet up and coming teams like Houston at long odds forever.
Okay.
They never come through. Houston got the closest of anyone. It's because they had a phenomenal rookie quarterback.
Mm-hmm. But did you think going in that Stroud was that good?
No one knew.
Okay.
But Ryans in his first year, D'Amico, did well and stuff. That's why the son of a bitches are, what are they, 20 to 1 now?
22 to 1, I want to say.
Yeah. They were 200.
I bet them because they were 200 to 1, and I said 200 to 1, I'm betting them.
Right.
You know?
But I don't bet all the 200 to 1 shots.
Okay.
These guys showed promise.
Okay.
That's the only reason I got on them. I hardly ever bet 200 to 1 shots.
Okay. I like throwing. My theory is no team should be that low. And
well, you know what? Some people use as a strategy. It's not really a strategy, but this is just the way they bet. They'll take the 10 longest shots, bet $10 on each.
Yeah. But you know what?
You lose 100 worst case scenario. if one of the son of a bitches hits, you're going to hit 700-800.
But if nothing else, if one of them, like Houston, gets to the playoffs, or is doing well, you might get a good cash out amount too.
Yeah.
So.
Or you could hedge.
You could hedger.
Yep.
That's paid off for both of us.
Yeah, it has. Yeah, you hedged your Niners this weekend.
Okay. Let's see. Any other teams you?
Not really.
Talk about?
And I'm not looking at it very close.
Uh-huh.
I grabbed the Rams and the Chargers just because of the upside. The Rams impressed me the way they played, and I think the Chargers, Harbaugh will get the most out of whatever fucking roster he comes up with opening day.
Yeah, he's proven that.
Yeah, and he's going to be going in there and just firing people, and bringing in his own guys.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what I know they're screwed in the cap, but I don't know what their draft capital looks like. It's probably normal.
I think it's one of the better ones. Actually.
Oh, is it?
Let's see. Where are you, Chargers? Oh, they're way up here. They are draft capital. They're 6th.
Nice.
They're still a young team, but their cap is a mess. But they have tied for 5th best strength of schedule. Easiest, yeah.
Oh, nice.
So, the Chargers are a good play.
Yeah, I feel good about it.
I mean, remember, Harbaugh took a Niners team that was a little lost at the time.
Yep.
NFC Championship their first year. So, Super Bowl the second.
Was it that post Mike Singletary?
It could have been, yeah. Yeah, they thought he was going to be a good one, and he just wasn't.
He flamed out.
He did, yeah.
Dude lost it.
Yeah, he probably tried to coach like Buddy Ryan, who was a great defensive coordinator.
Shit don't work today.
So head coach, yeah.
Yeah, that don't work anymore.
Got to adapt.
Yeah, you do.
Okay.
Is that all you got?
For anything to talk about?
I've got some baseball bets I've made.
Oh, let's hear them.
To win the World Series.
Let's hear them.
Okay, I first started betting these, and it's a small amount of money because I don't follow baseball.
Is this Teddy Covers?
No, what I do is I do a Yahoo search, long shots to win the World Series,
That's
and
what we did last year.
I read about 3 or 4 fucking articles, and I just throw a dart.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got the Tampa Bay Rays at 35-1.
Okay.
I got the Miami Marlins at 70-1.
Nice.
I have the San Francisco Giants 55-1.
Okay.
And the Detroit Tigers 60-1.
Okay, I liked the Tigers last year, and I may have been a year early on them.
Yeah, grab them at 60-1.
They're
a young team.
They're in a bad division that can be won.
Mm-hmm.
I have not looked at baseball yet, but I will, and I used to be a huge baseball fan.
Oh, I did too. Especially, I probably stopped watching baseball maybe in my mid-30s.
Okay.
I would watch the World Series and shit, but before that, let's say when I'm 35 years old, I'm watching baseball on Saturday every goddamn week.
Yeah. Have you been to like Candlestick Park?
Oh yeah.
Coliseum.
Oakland Coliseum. Yep.
Nice. Yeah, I've been
many
to both
games.
Comiskey and Wrigley several times in Chicago.
Yeah. No, I saw a lot of Giants and A's games, mostly A's games, because we lived in the East Bay and it was easier to get to the park.
Okay, and they were a great team in those years.
In the
70s,
Giants,
not so much.
Yeah, in the 70s, the A's were winning championships.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, I love baseball, and it's better live.
Yeah, better live. I also used to like it on the radio a lot.
Love it on the radio.
And
in fact, if I can't get anything else, and I'm out in redneck rural American shit, I can get a baseball game.
Yeah.
And so on trips and stuff, I remember listening to baseball just because there was nothing better on.
Mm-hmm.
And you could get it out there, especially the Niners. The Giants.
The Giants. Okay.
They dominated Northern California, Southern Oregon, and into Nevada, which back in the day, with just their fucking broadcast being so awesome.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know how many watts they were throwing out there, but a lot.
No, I remember a kid in Upper Michigan tuning into the White Sox in the 70s when Harry Carey and Jimmy Pearsall were announcing.
Mm-hmm.
And again, that's one of those things, if you know, you know
Sure.
how awesome it was.
Yeah. I
But
had, we had, who did we have? We had some great announcers. Russ, what was his name?
do you
Great.
know, did Al Michaels announce for the Giants for a while
Not that I remember.
when he was young and coming up? I thought I heard that, but I don't know. But yeah, you know, you get good announcers, and it helps.
One of our greatest 49er announcers of all time was Lon Simmons.
Lon Simmons.
Yep.
Okay.
Never
Heard of him. But
Do a little YouTube search or
Okay.
Yahoo or something. Lon Simmons, dude was awesome. He was the voice of the Giants for probably 20 years.
One guy I used to listen to in Michigan was Ernie Harwell for the Tigers.
I've heard of him.
And he was perfect, as good as Vin Scully, at just staying out of the way of the game and describing it and not trying to be the show.
The Giants had another guy, Russ Hodges.
Russ Hodges, that's a name I've heard. Yeah.
He's probably in the Broadcasters Hall of Fame.
Mm-hmm.
So we had Lon Simmons and Russ Hodges. I think Hodges was first, and Simmons took over for him and carried the torch for a long time.
We had, and I also remember Jack Brickhouse in Chicago, and he was pretty. He's definitely a Hall of Famer, but quite honestly, I'm not sure I ever heard him when he sounded sober.
Yeah.
In retrospect, because that was a thing back then.
Oh yeah, all those guys up in the booth.
Well, they had a beer.
I'd be drinking beer up there.
They had a beer that they usually had to push.
Right.
You know, that was their sponsor, and you know, before Harry Carey was the big Bud man, I remember him doing Stroh's. I remember him doing Old Style, which was a
I remember Old Style.
Beer. Okay.
Yeah, Schlitz. All those were those
Schlitz,
cheap lagers.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they were awesome. Anyways, I stopped being a baseball fan when I moved up here after the White Sox won their World Series in 2005. There wasn't anything on TV, and my interest was waning anyways.
Sure.
So, yeah. Well, there's that. Okay, enough trip down memory lane there.
And that's what we're about, though, man. You've been watching fantasy football with the Dork and the Dude.
We'll see you in a month or so,
Yep.
and we'll be talking free agency. And,
Well, first, our next we'll see you in about a month. Our first broadcast will be the Dorks bracket for March Madness.
I'll give you my bracket. Yes.
He's into that every year. I'm not. In fact, remember there was a few times I've let you fill mine out for me,
and it probably didn't end well. But,
it didn't.
Okay, but I'll give you both the men's and women's bracket.
There you go.
This year. But we're also going to talk football,
Draft, big
free
time.
agency, and how it affects fantasy.
Free agency starts what, March 30th?
It starts in March, early March, mid-March. So
okay.
The 19th when we come on, that will be a good time to talk about it.
Yeah, we'll have plenty to cover. We're taking a little break. It's been a long season.
Well-needed break. I don't know if it's deserved, but we're going to take it anyways.
Yeah, we are.
And thanks to all of you who tuned in during the year. I hope you enjoyed the season. And
I'm glad you're still listening in Frankfurt, Germany.
Oh, yeah. That's our guy out there.
Yeah.
And
someday he'll identify himself. Maybe he might be a robot.
He might be.
Okay, well, there you go. See you next month, folks. For the off-season, fantasy football with the Dork and the Dude.